How naive and ignorant we were to think we could continue living the way we did without consequence. From the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the mid-18th century to the present day 2115, over the course of approximately 350 years, we undid the process of diversification that was 65 million years in the making. Even in the company of 11 billion other humans, the world is now a much lonelier and hungrier place.
Expedition is a performance art movement that started between Boca di Lupo and the Performance Corporation, and we were looking for some common ground, and what we found was this idea of the Northwest Passage, and that it's this long-sought trade route from Europe through to the Pacific Rim, and that it came through Canada.
I'm going to the river, you stay here.
And then the idea kind of generated from there, which was that this long-sought trade route was only recently navigable because of global warming, really for all the wrong reasons. And so that's how we landed on this idea of climate change. But it's such a big question. I mean, it's too big in some ways, and it's too wrought when you think of it, in present day kind of, science, politics, global economy and all those things. And so we thought, how can we sidestep that? And this idea of evolutionary ethics or progressive ethics came into play, and which is this idea that, if you look back 100 years, you might say, oh, I can't believe they did that then. How did they do that then? And so we thought, well, what if we project ourselves as artists forward 100 years and then look back on present day, and what might we, from the perspective of 100 years from now, look back on today and say, wow, I can't believe we did that. Or maybe it's like, we really did that right. We're not looking to find a predetermined version of what happens in 100 years, but rather give each artist an opportunity to both speculate and then also create based on that. So we work to create these different things, and whether that's a satirical global wake for the last iceberg, or whether that's a really earnest look at the idea that perhaps we've already passed the threshold of being able to stop this process of climate change and global warming, that we can take each of those things and build on them in every location that we go. Wherever it is, that we'll bring works with us, some of the more successful works or more appropriate works for that location, but then we'll also, through pre-meetings or over the internet or other digital tools that we have available to us, work with local artists to create work, and in that way add to the inventory of work that is part of this movement. I say that with quotation marks, but this movement, it really is a movement that's an iterative process where we are continuing to create work and archive that work rigorously, and hope to, at some future time perhaps, bring a large number of those works together in one place at one time, which would be fabulous.